punctuated by she, her, continued by he, him. How are we doing out there? Good, great, grand, and wonderful. The worst fucking podcast on the history of the internet. It's true. In the history of the podcast, this is the worst one. The worst? Yes, the worst. It was nice, though, that the theme music by Adrian Ellis, of no relation, actually fits the movie, kind of, sort of. Maybe not. Who knows? But usually it's completely... tonally, it's different than what I usually talk about, but maybe this one, or at least perhaps it's the title selling it. As you see on your screen, your dial. However, you are unfortunately joining me today. There's just got to be something else to listen to that's way better than this, right? There's something else that you can do, something else you can watch. This, perhaps. Instead of listening to this, watch this. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Not what I thought it was going to be, but I liked it nonetheless. I don't know. I think it came out in 81. It's a Japanese film from 81. I just figured since I did a Japanese film on the last show, might as well just do another one right quick. Try to keep it somewhat, somewhat cohesive. It didn't bring what I thought it was going to, given the title, and because of course, I didn't know not a goddamn thing, not a goddamn thing about it. Didn't watch the trailer, didn't look up anything, just fucking let's roll, baby. And actually, my chick had to suffer through it. She's an anime fan, but I don't think there were near enough anime moments to for her to get into it. I don't think she hated it, but I think she was being nice. Because one, she doesn't watch movies. It's not her thing. It's not her bag. But two, if you don't watch movies and you see something like this, you're probably just like, this is fucking taking forever. And it kind of did. I chose to. This was an Arrow Video release. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Arrow Video presents. I chose to watch the director's cut, which I think was 19 minutes longer than the theatrical cut, and I didn't watch the theatrical cut because there's only, I think I have 34 more movies to do out of obligation. 34. Nothing that I would love to talk about the French Dispatch or Don't Look Up. Well, maybe I don't want to talk about Don't Look Up. That was pretty bleak. But, there's other films that I would rather talk about. But at this current moment, there are 34 films still left to go out of obligation. It's like... it's daunting as shit, dude. It sometimes I look over it, one, obviously I don't get a chance to watch, the things that I want to watch. Not that any of these releases are bad. I said that about the William Griffey collection. Those I wouldn't have necessarily sought those movies out, and I did 7 of them. 7 in that William Griffey collection. And because I think it's bullshit if you call yourself a critic or, a distributor is going to be nice enough for you or for them to send you stuff and for you to review and promote and whatever. And everybody, I'm the only one. I am the only one. Everybody opted to review the box set as a whole. The William Griffey collection. I did each and every single movie. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. I'm just, to ring it back in, I don't have time to watch Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, the theatrical cut, and the director's cut. I don't, there's not that much time. I did the William Griffey collection, and I still have 34 movies. William Griffey, the Snake Girl and the Silver-Haired Witch, and in this one, and I still have 34 more. Nobody cares. Stop bitching. It should be, it's a blessing that you have it. Yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard that I should be grateful for all the stuff that's sent to me. But one, physical media is not going to, it already doesn't mean a goddamn thing. And soon, you're not, it's going to be hard to get a Blu-ray player. I would say within 10 to 12 years, getting Blu-ray players will just be different. Or they'll, it's 9K fucking whatever. Nobody cares what you're talking about. But number 2 is, I don't have fucking time, dude. I have a day job. I have a day job. Why are you making excuses? I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it bums me out. Like, same with the, I'll be doing another one. I won't mention it yet, but I'll be doing another one, probably next episode, that had 3 versions to it. 3 versions to it. Now I was pissed because one of the version it's a TV cut and a fan cut. Maybe a little hint for people out there. PHAN, fan cut, which was the TV version and the theatrical cut together. And I'm pissed because I watched the theatrical cut and I just want to see like everything. Like I don't give a fuck if a movie's 9 hours long, as long as I'm having a good time, whatever the fuck, right? I just would have opted to watch that one instead of the theatrical cut, but it was a fun one. This one, it's not that this one wasn't fun or interesting or anything. It just, again, I think I went into it. It's a 1981 Japanese horror film. The cover art, which is pretty fucking sick. I think somebody did it of note. Michael Lohman. Reversible sleeve cover, a newly commissioned artwork. Yeah, if you look at the sleeve art and then you look at the original poster for Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, you would have thought that you were in for kind of a bananas, fucking very bloody, very over the top, very cartoony story about. Well, for me, so I saw that she had a machine gun. I didn't know that who is in Sailor Suit and Machine Gun? Who is in it? Our main character, Japanese idol, Azumi Hoshi, is played by Oh yeah, get your drinks out. Tons of butchering of names right now. Why don't you practice beforehand? Because then that takes out all the fun of it. And I don't mind learning live on air show that you are allowed to fail miserably. Just keep trying. Keep fucking trying. Enough with your complaining. Oh, I can't do it. Yeah, I can't do it, and I still do it. In front of thousands, I wish I could say more than that, but in front of thousands of people, I don't give a fuck if I botch names. Because I'm going to keep trying, and I'll get better. Or maybe I won't. I think I'm at that age where maybe the way that my brain takes in information from an educational standpoint is gone, but I'm still here and I'm still trying, and you can do it too, whatever you're doing in life. Nobody wants to take pointers from a fucking piece of shit movie podcast host. Jesus. It's like, you guys know the stand-up comedian Big J. Okerson? It feels very similar to him saying, if you'd like to take advice from a man who still wears a wallet chain, or a chain wallet, yeah, that's kind of the same here. But here I am to fail in front of you pronouncing names of the cast and characters in Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Azumi Hoshi is played by Hiroko Yakushimaru. Hiroko Yakushimaru. Playing Makoto Sakuma. We just call him Sakuma in this. Sunehiko Watazi? Question mark? Playing Mayumi is Yuki Katsumatsuri. That wasn't that bad, right? Playing Sakain. Nope, that's definitely not how you say that. Makoto Sato plays Sakain. Playing Fatso. What a piece of shit character Fatso is. Let me tell you. And what is it with the Asians always calling, like, that's a heavily used insult in Japan and China is Fatso, or a nickname is Fatso. And it's a hilarious word, but like that's Fatso shaming. We can't do that nowadays. But it is 1981, and we're not going to get hung up on being woke for something that wasn't woke. Still to a certain extent, you could argue certain areas are not woke. Anyway, retreat, abort. Fatso is played by Rentaro Mikuni. Matza is played by Masaki Daimon. Hiko is played by Shinpei Hayashiya. Akira is played by Toshiya Sakai. Tomo is played by Shinga Yagna Gisosawa. Nope, not going to get it. Tetsuo is played by Tatsuya Oka. Shuhei is played by Ken Mitsu. Why am I making that voice when I'm doing that? Why am I Shuhei? Shuhei is played by Ken Mitsushi. Shuhei is played by Ken Mitsushi. Detective Kiroki, which is a fucking weird character, the detective Kiroki, is played by Akira Emoto. Hamaguchi is played by Katsuo Kitamura. And Hagiwara is played by Minoru Terada. The screenplay was by Yotsuo Tanaka, and it was from the original novel. This was a novel, I believe, a manga series, and maybe even turned into a television series. Maybe, possibly, I think so. Original novel from Jiro Akagawa. And DP on this, director of photography, Saitso Shinjin. Great music by Katsuhashi. And directed by Shinji Samai. Shinji Samai. That is your cast and crew of Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. So, now that you've bungled through all of that, and it took you goddamn 20 minutes to do all that shit, why don't you tell us what the fuck Sailor Suit and Machine Gun's about? All right, calm down, everybody. It's the worst show on the internet. I'll get there, but you had to know who was in it. Sorry for the audio issues. I'm not sorry. I hate doing this fucking show. Fucking hate it. I fucking hate it, and I'm going to half-ass it. I'm going to half-ass it because I hate it. Hate half-ass. I hate half-assing. That sucks, too. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, Arrow Video release. A perky high schooler takes on the mob. A perky high schooler takes on the mob. The mob. In Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, a one-of-a-kind genre bender that riffs on the Yakuza film, coming-of-age drama, and idol movie. Inventively adapted from Jiro Akagawa's popular novel. Was adapted by director Shinji Samai. I just read it, and I can't do it a second time. I just fucking read both those names, and I can't bumble and stumble. You know, you keep trying. Even if you're an idiot, you keep fucking trying. Shinji Samai, a massively influential figure in Japanese cinema, whose work has been little seen outside of his homeland. Little seen, which is weird because I thought this was going to be crazy and over the top, right? I've said probably 45 times. It plays much more. I mean, there's some, culturally, there's some things that you're kind of like, I don't understand the culture, but, like you just see things that you're unfamiliar with. But outside that, it plays more like a Western film, I would argue. Like, it plays more like a traditional, we'll get to the mild Godfather aspect. Yes, we've seen little of Shinji's work outside of his homeland. Hoshi Izumi, our main character, Hoshi Izumi, played by Hiroko Yakushimaru. Plays Izumi, is a young, innocent force to grow up quickly when her father dies, and she finds herself next in line as the boss of the Murabund Yakuza clan. Wrenched from the security of her classroom and thrust into the heart of the criminal underworld, she must come to terms with the fact that her actions hold the key to the life or death of the men under her command as they come under fire from rival gangs. Presented both in its original theatrical and longer complete versions, and for the first time, one of Samai's films has been released on home video in the West. This landmark work from his earlier career was responsible for launching teen talent Hiroko Yakushimaru as an iconic face of a generation, with the catchy theme song that she performs indelibly etched into the zeitgeist of early 1980s Japan. So yeah, I think I may have glanced at the box and just saw Mob and was like, I saw the Machine Gun prior, and hold on a second, let's get into some of these contents. You got the high definition presentation of the original and theatrical cut, the 1982 complete version, reissue version, restored by Kadokawa Pictures from a 4K scan of the original negative, original uncompressed Japanese mono and 5.1 audio. Girls, Guns, and Gangsters. This is a bonus feature. Girls, Guns, and Gangsters, Shinji Samai and Sailor Suit Machine Gun. An exclusive new 50-minute documentary featuring actor Akira Emoto, film scholar Chika Kinoshita, and Samai biographer Tetsuya Kimura, and Sailor Suit assistant director Koji Inukido, discussing the making of the film, its director, and its legacy, and what it spawned. So like I said, I think I glanced at the back of the box and saw Mob, whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be crazy and awesome. For whatever reason, I think, I may have subconsciously tricked myself into thinking it was like Dead or Alive. I don't know if you've seen those, the Takashi Miike Dead or Alive. This is one of the most banana movies. That has one of the most banana endings I've ever seen in my life, was that first Dead or Alive movie. But I guess I went into this thinking it's going to be batshit insane, and instead it was a very, very well-crafted, very polished, I don't want to say character study, but it played, I think, like I mentioned earlier, much more like a Western film. It played much more like a Godfather film to me than Dead or Alive. And like I said, maybe that's, I'm the dumb fuck for convincing myself that I was about to sit down and watch, this sailor suit girl just shredding through motherfuckers. And, I mean, because of that, that's why I don't like going into movies knowing anything, at all. Whether it's a movie that I'm seeking out myself or a movie that I haven't mentioned this in a while on the show. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I do not watch trailers under any circumstances. If all I need to know, fucking Christopher Nolan's making a movie, fine, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, Tom Hardy is starring in a movie, fine, I'll be there. Even if it means that it's going to be kind of underwhelming like Venom 2. Going way back to the beginning, that's another thing. I got 34 movies left to do. It's not that I would have discussed Venom 2, even though I love Tom, and I feel like any time that I can promote Tom's work, I should promote Tom's work because I love Tom, and Tom has no idea who I am. But point is, I would at least like to have the option to, do Venom 2 if I felt like it, instead of being like, Now I even sometimes when I watch things for pleasure, I get anxiety because I look over and I see all the films that I'm meant to do for the show. I'm like, this is no way to live. You're meant to watch movies to unwind. Anyway, we're drifting off topic here. I thought that this movie plays more like more like a Godfather type film, whereas there's much more heart to it than this, say, batshit, bullet-riddled, body-stacked, whatever of a film. And I was kind of pissed, too, because I'm watching it with my chick, who, as aforementioned, she's not overly, she likes movies, you know what I'm saying? She just doesn't watch a lot of movies. In fact, kudos to her, she actually watches like the making of and the bonus features for movies that she likes. But again, I think I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, like, when you don't watch films a lot, and you see something like this, I can see, not that you think it's bad, but you don't necessarily know what to make of it. And I go back and forth because, I like bringing movies to everyone. It makes me feel joy to see someone see something that they haven't seen and watch the impact that it has on him. I know I'm sick. I'm a sickly person. I need to have other hobbies than going, oh, don't you love that? I'm so glad that it's just, I need to grow up. I go back and forth on what I would have rather had it been. On the one hand, pushing the envelope as some Asian action films, or just, when the Asians want to be violent, they can hang with the best of them. If we're talking about on-screen violence and creative deaths or creative, ways to hack somebody up, whatever, the Asians can hang with the best of them. I thought, on some level, that's what we may be sitting down to see. Well, why would you make your chick sit down to watch this? Because I have obligations, dude. Like, I can't keep pissing full days away. Whether I can't even piss the whole day away on days that I work my day job, let alone a day off. Like, if I have a day off, this shit needs to get done. Why would you make her sit down and watch it? Because I need more time. But anyway, would I have rather had her seen, this blood, whatever, blood-fueled vengeance, and it does turn into a little bit of a revenge story, but would I rather had her see that or what she did see? Now, on the one hand, I would prefer the former because I want to know her tolerance. Like, shit, dude, I put on It the other night and she lost her damn mind. Like, she turned into a completely different person. She was just, I can't do this. And I don't know why, it's, again, kind of much like I want you to experience the joy of film, I also want you to be scared, too. So I don't know why I put that on. It was late, too. Like, we had already done 2 movies. And, she's not the type that'll watch 2 movies back to back, especially like in the setting that I do where I turn the lights off and the sound is very loud and blah, 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 blah. How you're meant to experience, no phones, so someone who doesn't watch 2 movies back to back and then I throw on It. I didn't know that she was that afraid of clowns, but at the same time, grow the fuck up. She probably is listening to this, and that's fine. That's fine, But point is, I would have seen her envelope pushed, or how far we could have pushed it with a traditional Asian action film, and that's not what we saw. We saw a very, very heartfelt, very dramatic perspective of a young girl taking over for the mob, which was I at the end of when I first saw it, I was kind of bummed because I'm like, oh my god, she's probably so bored. And then eventually I had to put how I felt about her feelings on the film. I had to put that on hold, and I had to think about how truly I felt about the film. And I actually really enjoyed it now that I've had a day or two to kind of digest it, especially now. Like, I'm watching so much shit. There's stuff that kind of gets, it blends together. After digesting, I think I would prefer what I saw as, well, I don't know if prefer, but I guess I would like to see both. I would like to see the one where she goes... fucking Izumi goes on a goddamn rampage, but I also like what I did see. And I guess I would have preferred my chick to see the other, just so I know how far we could push her. But this, you gotta know, because, like, to me, there's nothing that you could show me. I will not watch certain things just because I have no need for it. Like, like some of that Unearthed films. Have you guys ever heard of that production company? The Unearthed films, like, those are just way too over the top violence. Like, there's, for whatever. The thing about it, though, I can watch it because I know it's a movie and it's, it's just special effects and everything. I don't have time for that sort of thing in my life anymore. I got way too much to do. to be watching American Guinea Pig or whatever the fuck else. I covered a film once that was an unearthed film, and a guy did 25 minutes, and I'm not exaggerating, 25 minutes of dick mutilation. I don't have time for that anymore. But yeah, I wish that this would have been super bloody, and my chick would have either been like, hell yeah, that was cool, or I can't watch something like that. I need to know your limits. But she saw a very heartfelt, very weird, I guess weird in the sense where some of the gang members that she now looks out for, feel a type of way about her. Not only the attraction for being a young girl, but also kind of a motherly type, a sisterly type, which I thought was an interesting way to look at it, as opposed to my bosses are pissed that a young girl is now the head of a family, head of the family. Which we did do, and there is, some very uncomfortable scenes, and again, for someone who watches as much and has seen as many Asian films as I have, like, we still, in terms of me wanting to push my chick in visual stimulation, I even think the weird scenes didn't go far enough, whether it would be one of the mob bosses trying to intimidate the girl, Izumi, and how he goes about doing it. It was creepy, but, like, to me, it was very mild. I guess I didn't ask her this, if she found it upsetting or on some level, but I'm sure she did, but, like, I have seen the Asians go full fucking weird when it comes to, like, the sexual dominant whatever, and amongst some of the most uncomfortable I have been, but not so much here. We didn't have that. It was very subdued. It was a very polished, a very well written, a very well executed film, which, not that Japan isn't capable of that, they totally are. Just to reiterate, like I have for 30 minutes, not what I thought I was going to see, given the cover art, the newly commissioned cover art, and also the original 1981 movie posters. Because, well, you could have read about it. Yeah, I didn't fucking want to, bro. I didn't fucking want to. I like to be surprised, goddammit. Alright, had enough. Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Arrow Video presents Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. You can't get out of this one using Tubi for free, like the Bill Grafé collection. Get Arrow Player, or just order the physical media. We need physical media to stay in business for as long as possible, goddammit. I don't like watching my special bonus features on fucking a streaming app. That's not how I roll, dude. Arrow Video presents Sailor Suit Machine Gun. Ellis Cinema. Continuing for God knows what reason. Alright. Sailor Suit Machine Gun, Ellis Cinema. We gone.